You may have seen this going viral on any of your social media feeds. We do know that the rapper Cardi B has been on the stand testifying in a civil lawsuit.
It's from global superstar to courtroom scandal. This is the moment Cardi B's empire stands on the precipice, wobbling like one of her sky-high stilettos on a rain-slick LA sidewalk. We're not talking about a minor hiccup or a Twitter beef that blows over in 24 hours. No, this is the stuff empires are made and broken on. A civil trial in Alhambra, California, with $24 million hanging in the balance, and Cardi B herself, real name Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, sitting on the witness stand under oath. Cameras flashing, fans crowding the courthouse, the entire industry holding its breath because the accusations inside that courtroom are as raw and graphic as any lyric she's ever rapped.
From what I'm seeing on the stand, it's not really going together very well for her purpose in searching after some of these charges.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a lawyer who's very confident. And I think she has that. But I think everything else, I mean, you can have confidence, but you need something to support that confidence in. And it's just not playing out very well. He's having a lot of trouble in the examinations. And
let's paint the picture. 4 months pregnant and still hiding her baby bump from the world, Cardi's caught in a hallway outside a Beverly Hills obstetrician's office in early 2018. Imani Ellis, a security guard with a clean record and 4 years on the job, claims she watched Cardi step off the elevator and did what any mortal might do, blurted out, "Wow, it's Cardi B." From there, Ellis's allegations descend straight into TMZ territory, being spit on, scratched across the face, bombarded with slurs. And all this, Ellis says, before Cardi allegedly wielded her celebrity status like a weapon to get her fired and erase the building's security footage. It's not just a lawsuit, it's a tabloid masterclass, with Ellis describing panic attacks, insomnia, and the kind of psychological scars that stick harder than any Instagram blog.
And it is a lawsuit. And if you read the lawsuit, I mean, according to her claim, she went through some pretty serious, some serious trauma because of this. But the way it's playing out in court just really isn't supporting that. And one thing I remember is that when I've interviewed lawyers and judges, they always say the key to success in the courtroom is preparation. And I think there's a lack of preparation from the attorney's part.
Meanwhile, Cardi's version of the story spins the entire scene on its head. In court, she's admitted there was a verbal fight, chest to chest, voices raised, egos clashing in a cramped hallway, but flatly denies that she ever put hands or sharp acrylics on Ellis. The viral moments from the stand are almost cinematic. Cardi facing a barrage of questions, rolling her eyes, making faces that are already memes before lunch. Asked to repeat what she said in the heat of that confrontation, she shrugs. "I said, get out my face. Why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security?" Delivering her testimony with the kind of energy you'd expect from someone who survived rap battles, not just lawsuits. And when the lawyer, Ron Rosenjenthaza, tries to press her on whether she was disabled at the time, Cardi fires back. "When you're pregnant, I'm very disabled. You want me to tell you things I can't do?" Half the gallery laughs, half the internet gasps, and suddenly we're all asking, is Cardi's career about to get bulldozed by a fight that started over a hallway greeting?
I know for people online, it's her emotion, it's, Cardi B being Cardi B. But from a legal standpoint, what are you thinking as you hear her description of what happened?
So I think it's somewhat of a dual-edged sword, but I think the other witnesses that testified help her out. A receptionist testified saying that she was there and didn't see any injuries on the alleged victim here. There is also a psychiatrist that said that they evaluated the alleged victim and that...
It's not just the legal stakes that make this trial feel like the final act of a tragic opera. $24 million on the line. That's more than just punitive damages. That's an entire fashion house, a social media empire, a recording career, and an endorsement roster that runs from couture to cola. If Cardi loses, it's not only a financial hit, it's an all-out attack on the image she's crafted. Outspoken, yet glamorous. Authentic, yet untouchable. Every day she enters the courtroom, the headlines erupt. Not just about the case, but about the spectacle. Fans and detractors alike are glued to live streams and TikToks, dissecting her every move, from her facial expressions to her rotating parade of wigs, which seem to have become almost as controversial as the testimony itself. One day, it's a mushroom black bob. The next, it's a platinum side part so flawless that even the posing lawyer has to ask, on record, is it real? She laughs. And the moment goes viral. Fodder for a million memes, but also a sly reminder. This is a woman who's been playing the game at the highest level for years, even if the rules just changed overnight. But what's truly lighting up the rumor mill isn't the courtroom fashion. Though, let's face it, Cardi's blend game has embarrassed at least one legal professional already. It's the eerie silence from a corner nobody expected, Offset. If anyone has built their brand on public loyalty, it's him. Usually, he's first to write into the comments, quick to flash a supportive post, drop a bar, or at least weigh in with a passive-aggressive emoji. Time? Nothing. No tweets, no statements, no PR spin, just radio silence as the mother of his 3 children fights to keep her name, her fortune, and maybe even her freedom. Now, the speculation is running wild. Is Offset stepping back because he's nursing wounds from their latest public blow-up? Or, and here's the twist that's got even the most jaded industry veterans whispering, could he be helping Imani Ellis behind the scenes? Maybe not directly, but a handful of former team members are hinting at quiet conversations, unreturned calls, the kind of ghosting that only happens when someone's trying to avoid being subpoenaed themselves.
Keep making moves on top of moves on top of moves until the move that you make grants you to be the king. Checkmate or kingmate.
Kingmate.
You dig what I'm saying? It's all a game. Hey, what I say? It's all entertainment, baby. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment, ladies and
And let's not forget, just last year, Cardi filed for divorce for the 2nd time, this time allegedly for good, telling the world she's been single for a minute. Their relationship has always been a powder keg of passion and chaos, with breakups splashed across social feeds, public accusations of infidelity on both sides, and the kind of Instagram rants that keep divorce lawyers on speed dial. Their co-parenting is now being played out not just in family court, but on a global stage. Offset has accused Cardi of stepping out during her 3rd pregnancy. Cardi has fired right back, claiming he's obsessed with tracking her new partners, messaging everyone she dates, even as she tries to move on. If it sounds like high school drama played out on a platinum credit card, well, that's the tabloid reality these two have always delivered.
it's like, what are we? Okay, I see what you're trying to do. You competing, but y'all just switching girlfriends. It's like, what is this?
What are we doing?
So I get it. Do I approve of it? Part of me is like, yeah, because I see what Offset is trying to do. He's like, yo, I gotta fight.
And while Offset keeps to the shadows, someone else's absence is echoing through the courthouse. Stefon Diggs, Cardi's newest high-profile flame. Diggs, the freshly minted New England Patriots receiver, has spent the last few months playing Prince Charming to Cardi's Instagram Cinderella, whisking her off to Paris Fashion Week, renting out a literal French castle with crocodiles, if you believe her stories, and showing off a couple's workout video that nearly broke the internet. But even Diggs, usually quick with a supportive post or flex, has gone silent. Is it a calculated move to avoid becoming collateral damage in Cardi's latest legal meltdown? Or are we watching the early warning signs of another A-list breakup? One timed just a little too perfectly with the storm clouds over Cardi's courtroom entrance. Let's zoom in on the real reason everyone's eyes are on this trial. It's not just the money or the mudslinging. It's the stakes for Cardi's brand. She's long positioned herself as the ultimate survivor, climbing from reality TV to Grammy stages, from Bronx stripper poles to Parisian runways. Every controversy so far, she's spun into gold. Tabloid spats become album rollouts. Beefs turn into business deals, but there's something different about this moment, something no publicist can smooth over. The accusations aren't just of violence, they're of a pattern, of a celebrity who believes she's above the rules. If a jury believes Imani Ellis, Cardi's legacy as the voice of the streets gets rebranded overnight as the face of unchecked aggression. Her rivals are already circling, her sponsors are monitoring, and every new headline lands like another brick on the pressure cooker.
19. I don't like talking about my feelings because people like when you show weakness, people be like, oh, sympathy. And I feel like at first I thought they was doing it to me, but now I see they do that to every female rapper.
So you feel you can't like honestly be vulnerable because
Yes, I'm afraid to be vulnerable because people want to say, oh, you be looking for sympathy, but this is...
And let's be real, Cardi's not making it easy to look away. In the middle of this firestorm, she's still trying to serve looks, tease singles, and keep the narrative on her own terms. Her next album, Am I the Drama? Subtlety Has Never Been Her Brand, is scheduled to drop in September. And the timing is almost suspicious. Is this whole legal drama a convenient rollout? Or is Cardi B just living out the kind of tabloid storyline that even her wildest music videos haven't managed to capture? Fans are torn. Some insist she's being targeted because she's too real. Others say she's finally reaping the consequences of years spent bending every rule that got in her way.
And why were you concerned?
Because I'm pregnant and this girl's about to beat my ass. Hello?
All the while, the whispers of a new pregnancy refuse to fade away. Even with Cardi's furious denials, no you silly goose, I'm just out of breath because I have asthma, the speculation keeps bubbling up. Her courtroom outfits, strategically oversized and high-waisted, only fuel the fire. Watch her step out of the courthouse, moving gingerly, hand hovering protectively over her midsection. and the rumor mill practically writes itself. She blasts fans online for suggesting she looks 30 weeks pregnant, but then turns around and posts a photo captioned, "But am I?" And suddenly the guessing game is back on. And if anyone doubts that Cardi loves to play with the public's perception, just take a look at her latest social campaign, cryptic enough to make even Taylor Swift's fan base look patient. The health rumors don't end there. Some insiders are murmuring about complications during her last pregnancy, hinting that this trial might be hiding not just legal drama, but a crisis that could derail more than her tour schedule. At least 2 former assistants claim Cardi has quietly been in and out of medical offices, and it doesn't help that every time she's spotted leaving the courthouse, she's moving at a pace that screams, "I'm not telling you everything." It's possible the stress of the trial has simply caught up with her. Or more ominously, there could be a much bigger secret just below the surface, a private battle with her health, a hush-hush diagnosis, the kind of behind-the-scenes crisis that could upend her entire career.
Cardi B's going viral for her testimony, arguing she did not touch a security guard who's suing her for assault allegations. The security guard claims Cardi B cut her face with a fingernail and spat on her. She says it happened outside an obstetrician's office during the rapper's not yet public first pregnancy.
And through it all, the press is merciless. Fans in LA line up outside the courthouse not just to see justice served, but to catch a glimpse of the spectacle. Cardi's latest hair, her nails, her mood, her sly responses to every reporter's question. The whole scene feels like a fever dream, a reality show where the stakes are measured not in eliminations, but in lawsuits and reputations. We watch as Cardi laughs off invasive questions about her body, calls out the plaintiff's attorney for being pressed about her wigs, and jokes about being disabled by pregnancy. Every line a soundbite, every moment potential ammunition for either side.
I feel like we got married so young. We got married so young, and we got married so like spontaneously. And we did know each other, but we kind of didn't know each other. We just like was in love with each other, and we had like a little toxic relationship. We got married 6 months of knowing each other, and like in those 6 months, we would see each other like 2 or 3 times.
Yet, beneath all the spectacle, the question nags at everyone, from the fans glued to TikTok to the suits in Cardi's label's office. Is this the beginning of the end? Will Cardi B walk away from this trial with her empire intact? Or is this the first real crack in her carefully curated armor? Because this isn't just about one fight in a doctor's office, or even about one security guard with a legal dream. It's about whether celebrity is a shield or a sword, about whether Cardi's brand can survive when the courtroom spotlight is harsher than any stage light she's ever stood under.
Do you think is the secret sauce to keeping our relationship strong?
That like we really friends. You know, like being each other's vessel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we have to have each other's back more than anybody. Like Philip and Elizabeth.
And if all of this wasn't enough, if the trial, the divorce, the new romance, the health rumors weren't already enough to keep Cardi B up at night, the silence from her ex Offset remains deafening. We can't help but ask, is Offset's refusal to defend her just about their own mess? Or does he know something the rest of us don't? Maybe he's waiting for the right moment to make his move. Or maybe, just maybe, he's playing a longer game. One that could flip the whole story on its head and leave Cardi facing not just a legal defeat, but the unraveling of everything she's built. But behind the screaming headlines and viral courtroom clips, there's a deeper game at play, and Imani Ellis stands right at the center. We're all trained to see her as just a security guard caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, but the closer we look, the less random this lawsuit seems. Some former industry insiders, from label fixers to backstage managers, are quietly asking if Imani Ellis is just another player in a much bigger power struggle. Could Ellis, who landed her security job through state approval and left the business for social work after the incident, be more than an aggrieved employee? A handful of ex-publicists insist this trial feels orchestrated, an ambush, not just a cash grab. If you listen to the whispers in downtown LA, there's talk of a coordinated campaign, one that could have been hatched not in a courtroom, but in a conference room. Maybe the goal was never just to get justice for one hallway clash, but to bring down a superstar whose rise has always made powerful enemies uncomfortable.
Now, do you feel competitive because your boyfriend Offset is in the Migos? He's here now, and obviously y'all both will be at the BET Hip Hop Awards. Are you like, okay, I got nominated for this. What if y'all are in the same category?
I think he would want me to win, to be honest with you.
Over him?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's how a man should be.
Yeah.
You in love. You've been posting a lot of pictures.
Why you not use the L word?
Who could be pulling those strings? The gossip isn't shy about floating names. Old label rivals, vengeful managers left behind when Cardi split from her first team, even disgruntled former stylists who claim they know where the bodies are buried, metaphorically speaking, of course. We've heard from one industry veteran who claims Ellis was approached months before the lawsuit by a third-party consultant, tied to a shadowy network of anti-Cardi B blogs. And if we dig into the timing, it's almost too neat. The lawsuit filed only after Cardi's team squashed another potential scandal about Offset's off-the-books club nights, Ellis suddenly getting fired, evidence vanishing into the LA smog. It's all a little too cinematic for comfort.
All I'm saying is, if I felt like my girl was cheating, I'm gonna get it off of these two. If I felt like my girl was cheating and she said these things to dispel my thought, it would not be dispelled.
No, not at all.
It would actually.
And as the courtroom drama drags on, Ellis's testimony begins to morph into something more than just a list of grievances. She's become a symbol for every assistant, guard, or runner who ever got trampled by the celebrity circus. Her accusations, spitting, scratching, verbal abuse, land like a challenge to the entire entertainment machine. And with the payout demand north of $24 million, we're not talking about a slap on the wrist. We're watching a potential precedent. If Ellis wins, who's next? Suddenly, every artist's past outburst, every security scuffle, every hidden camera moment in a green room becomes a loaded gun waiting to go off in civil court. No one in the music business is sleeping easy. But here's the question that has the industry's power brokers sweating through their suits. If Ellis is a pawn, who's the queen? The wildest theory comes from a former road manager who swears that someone in Cardi's old circle, possibly even a jealous rival or jilted executive, encouraged Ellis to go public. This isn't just about money, he told us. This is about making sure Cardi B never gets a clean headline again. Of course, Cardi's label has stayed mum, but the silence only feeds the conspiracy. And while Ellis claims she was reluctant to sue, friends say she's now being treated like a folk hero by certain corners of the business. A warning shot for any A-lister who thinks the old rules still apply.
And by time passing, we grew with each other.
Did you ever do therapy?
We did a little therapy.
I'm in therapy now, it helps.
All of this circles back to Cardi herself. On the surface, she's holding it together, swapping out wigs, ducking questions, hurling viral retorts. But the people closest to her see something different. Over the past few weeks, friends say Cardi has grown more isolated. Her once unstoppable confidence chipped away by daily court appearances and endless DMs from fans demanding answers she can't give. She's juggling legal chaos, a fiery new relationship with Stefon Diggs, and the ongoing storm of co-parenting with Offset, all while holding on to 3 little ones who have no idea why mommy looks so tired in the morning. It's not just the legal team who's worried. Cardi's creative partners have started to whisper about missed calls, last-minute cancellations, frantic late-night texts that sound more anxious than ambitious. One confidant describes her as in survival mode, still performing but not really present. A member of her stylist crew says she's doing the hair and the outfits for the cameras, but when she goes home, she's alone more than ever. We've all seen the tabloid shots of her stepping gingerly out of the courthouse, sunglasses hiding everything her face won't reveal. The woman who once bragged about being the queen of fashion and drama now looks like she's carrying a weight even a couture suit can't disguise.
So, who said I love you first, me or you?
Me.
Of course, duh. I've been wanting to tell you that I love you, but you know, a girl can never tell a man that she love him first. Yeah, I gotta see if you love me first.
The strain is showing in the music, too. Her upcoming album, Am I the Drama, was supposed to be a victory lap, a return to the throne after years of public battles and internet beefs. Now it's at risk of being swallowed by the same scandals it was meant to capitalize on. Producers who once begged for a feature are suddenly too busy. Sponsors are hedging their bets, and even longtime fans are starting to ask if their queen can weather another public storm. For the first time in years, there's real doubt swirling around Cardi B's future, not just as a musician, but as a brand.
Cardi B. Cardi got her cheek back, allegedly. I hope that ain't true.
And if fame wasn't hard enough to manage, Cardi is now walking a tightrope between personal crisis and public persona. The constant swirl of rumors, pregnancy speculation, health scares, breakup gossip has driven her to lash out at fans and critics alike. The infamous 30 weeks pregnant clapback was more than just a joke. It was a flare fired straight into the heart of an audience that refuses to let her have any privacy. Those closest to her say she's begun locking down her inner circle, cutting off anyone who might leak a story or snap an unflattering pic. Even Stefon Diggs, the supposed fairy tale romance, has gone suspiciously quiet online, leaving Cardi to face the wolves alone. The Diggs romance was meant to be a distraction, but even that's become a fresh source of stress. We all saw the videos from Paris, the castle, the crocodiles, the royal bathrooms, but behind the scenes, insiders say the cracks are already showing. One friend claims Cardi's been worried that Diggs, who has his own high-stakes NFL season ahead, might not stick around for the next phase of her drama. It was fun at first, they told us. But who really wants to get dragged into a headline war with Offset and the entire music press? And with Cardi's divorce from Offset still unresolved, and both parties throwing shade and accusations across X and Instagram, we're watching the kind of celebrity mess that ruins careers and families if it spins any further out of control.
And it's in sources with direct knowledge close to the couple tell TMZ that the split has nothing to do with the latest cheating rumors.
Meanwhile, the public feuding between Cardi and Offset only grows nastier. The latest X exchange was a clinic in mutual humiliation, Cardi demanding he sign the papers today, Offset firing back about custody, each claiming the other is fixated on drama and distractions. It's a toxic feedback loop that started to infect even their attempts at co-parenting. Fans once hoped for reconciliation, now they're just rubbernecking the train wreck, wondering who will blink first. And in this climate, every offhand comment, every nightclub sighting, every cryptic Instagram caption becomes a potential landmine. The days of private lives are over. Every second is content for a public hooked on chaos.
Good news in the entertainment world this morning. The one and only Cardi B is pulling the plug on her marriage again, filing for divorce from Offset.
What's becoming clear by the day is that the trial isn't just about a single argument in a Beverly Hills hallway. It's about whether the forces that create pop superstars can just as easily destroy them. We've seen this cycle before, artists who get too big, too brash, too uncontrollable for the machine that made them. Today, it's Cardi on the chopping block. Tomorrow, it could be someone else. The real stakes aren't just $24 million or the fate of one lawsuit. They're about who gets to tell the story, who holds the power, and how much scandal a brand can withstand before the house of cards finally collapses. There's a fresh round of lawsuits rumored to be coming. Lawyers representing other former staffers are said to be watching the Cardi trial like hawks, ready to pounce if Ellis gets even a fraction of what she's asking for. Even whispers of past incidents, altercations in clubs, snatched phones, shouted threats backstage are now being quietly cataloged. The legal community is practically salivating at the chance to set a precedent. If they can bring down Cardi B, no one is safe. Meanwhile, brands and sponsors are drafting emergency clauses just in case they need to quietly cut ties.
I feel like we love each other. I love Offset and he loves me. But, you know, we've been together for such a long time.
The music industry is taking notes, and the wider world is tuning in, not just for the courtroom drama, but for what comes next. If Cardi survives this, she'll be more untouchable than ever. A comeback story to end all comeback stories. But if she falls, it'll send shockwaves through LA and beyond, a reminder that nobody, no matter how powerful, is immune to the grinding gears of scandal and retribution. Already, the vultures are circling. Think piece writers, ex-friends with stories to sell, rivals looking for an opening. If Cardi slips, the feeding frenzy will be relentless. And now, as the trial resumes and the tension in the Alhambra courtroom reaches fever pitch, one thing is undeniable. This is no longer just about a 2018 altercation. This is about power, reputation, and a dangerous pattern that threatens to drag everyone in Cardi's orbit into the undertow. If Ellis prevails, it opens the floodgates. If Cardi escapes, it could embolden every celebrity facing similar accusations to double down, dig in, and come out swinging.
I just took it as a sign. So I wanna start 2024 like fresh.
So what happens next? Is Cardi B about to stage the most legendary comeback since Shakur holograms, or is she spiraling toward a public implosion nobody could have predicted? Will Offset stay silent, or will he return to the spotlight with receipts of his own? And what about Imani Ellis? Folk hero or puppet, justice seeker or pawn? The only thing more unpredictable than this trial is what will be left standing when the dust finally settles. We want to hear from you. Is Cardi B's reign nearly over, or is she about to flip the script on all her enemies yet again? Are you Team Cardi, or do you think the time has finally come for a new queen of hip-hop? Drop your hottest takes in the comments below and don't blink, because when it comes to this story, trust us, the wildest chapter is always the one you don't see coming. Until next time, keep your tea hot and your notifications on. We'll be watching, and so should you.